Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another Sims Info and Thoughts video. So, we gotta talk about one particular aspect of For Rent, and that is, are there going to be loading screens between units of residential rentals or not? The Sims IT made a tweet expressing their disappointment because it does appear that there will be loading screens between units because of this travel to unit button with the car icon that can be seen during the gameplay trailer. And the Sims official Twitter replied saying, to optimize this pack's performance for all our players and in line with the current technology seen in The Sims 4 City Living, you'll be able to see shared spaces and your own unit. However, there is a small load time as you travel to enter the homes of other units. We'll show exactly how all this works in the coming deep dive, so stay tuned. What's interesting is that they're not outright saying that yes, there are loading screens, but a loading time, so there's a difference in the wording there. But at the same time, they are saying that it is comparable to City Living. So where is this really going to land then? Well, when you play with City Living and visit another apartment, yes, you do go through a loading screen after doing like a little interaction to knock on the door. And then once that loading screen is done, then you have to knock on the door again to actually see everything in the apartment. Of course, depending on how fast your system is, that can change the length of the loading times, though I've discovered even with saves, it can be radically different. For example, my save that I have with just a couple of my builds and a couple extra families, that takes about 8 to 10 seconds to load another lot. But as you just saw, this is my main save that I've been using since 2014 with almost 500 Sims. That took about 30 seconds to just load into another apartment. So that's a big difference between it being like, oh, okay, it's a more minor inconvenience towards like, okay, this is kind of a drag. But that tweet says small load time, so hopefully they've managed to figure out how to make the loading screen shorter if you're just loading the exact same lot again, but just going down to your tenant's basement. The difference between that and City Living's apartments is that City Living's apartments are all technically still different lots, even the ones in the same building. I've seen people bring up a couple interesting alternatives though. What if this small load time is like when we download builds from the gallery and then you have those plumbobs there instead of it going to the regular loading screen? That I would be fine with. Then we have what The Sims 2 Apartment Life did, which is what I think a lot more people are expecting, where you click on the door to go knock on it, and then once your sim has done that, then each room in the other unit loads up individually until everything is loaded. And as you can see, I tried to have my sim go into the other trailer in the trailer park in Belladonna Cove before it was done fully loading, but she couldn't do that because that interaction wasn't done yet, because basically the interaction locks the sim from going into the apartment until it's all done loading. Once you step out of that unit that you're visiting, though, it will fade out, as well as the Sims in it. And I think that is a pretty sensible approach. It's kind of cool, in my opinion, just seeing the rooms fading in and out like that, instead of just smash cutting to a cliche loading screen. So yeah, if it worked like that in The Sims 4 for rent, then I'd be good with that as well. As long as it isn't just a plain old loading screen that takes the exact same amount of time as it would to travel to an entirely different world. So while we should wait for the deep dive live stream to fully judge, it appears, especially with them mentioning City Living, that it is going to be the same way. Smash cut to a loading screen, the same old one when you're going between different units in a residential rental. I guess the best I can hope for is that it'll at least be a shorter than normal loading screen. However, I'm not surprised that this one tweet has ended the honeymoon phase of For Rent with the Sims community. It's valid to be disappointed at the possibility of standard loading screens between rental units, but I've seen many people being rude to each other on both sides, some calling others bootlickers for being okay with the limitation, and at this point, I've seen way more people complain about the complaining rather than the actual complaints themselves, with those other people being condescending too, just in a different way. So overall, it's just been a lot. It's not unexpected though, even Seasons, which I'm pretty sure has been the best received expansion pack so far for The Sims 4, still had the controversy with the lack of deep snow, so this was bound to happen at some point. It was a when rather than an if. If the end result does end up being just the same old loading screen, taking the same amount of time as it would just loading an entirely different lot, then yeah, I will be disappointed. I'll deal with it. I mean, at least I can fit way more Sims into my save than I would be able to without this pack. But, I mean, it's fine. It's a little disappointed. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, it's too bad that The Sims 4's engine is just so limited, and right now, my hopes aren't really too high for Project Renee to be a whole lot better. And that wraps up another Sims Info and Thoughts video, so feel free to let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe if you'd like to keep up with my latest gaming content. I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!